pool, and we have a battle royal going on out there on the pitch, and a full house of brand new supporters maybe for this great game of rugby league. They've come in tonight and they've seen it firsthand, first time, and I'm sure they can be totally and completely impressed with what they've seen. Brian Smith, the new coach of the new Bradford Bulls, is our guest on the programme today, and we all expected the Warrington youngsters to shine in front of the young supporters, but haven't Workington done well?
They have. They've been very enthusiastic throughout the whole course of the game and or the half, and that first try I think was a result of that. A bit of precision with the kick, but it was more the competition for the ball in the air and then on the ground by David Frace, and some nice handoff by him also. I think they've competed very well. You can
Here
see
is the try. A great kick from Marwood.
Even under some pressure from Mackie. And the ball is contested there very well. The ball belongs to no one when it's in the air or on the ground, and Frace was the first one there, and you can see just how enthusiastic Workington have been. They've been that way in defence as well.
It's a bit like a cup final atmosphere out there, isn't it? Because we've got all the young voices around the place. And it has lifted Workington, hasn't it?
Well, I think everybody likes to compete. I'm not sure about you and Steve-O out there, the entertainers upstairs, but I think it gives a buzz to everyone, and it's great for the players and I know for a coach as well to be in a ground that's full of noise and capacity house here. I think it's fantastic.
Steve-O, it has in many ways affected Workington, or affected Warrington more than Workington, because I don't know, the youngsters maybe seem to as though they've gone into a shell a little bit.
Look, it's nothing to do with the crowd whatsoever. It's the mere fact that youngsters cannot perform if the platform's not laid for them, and it's the forwards are not working. It's a simple, basic rule. Greg Mackie has been totally outclassed by his opposite, Marwood, and that's because the Workington six are moving forward. We've seen it nearly all through the 40 minutes, is that Workington are getting over the advantage line. Time and time again, we see the forwards wanting to run and be part of the game. Warrington, they don't. Maybe they thought that last week that the youngsters brought them through against Sheffield. That's what they want again. Because it was no coincidence that when Warrington did finally score the try, the five play the balls up to it, there wasn't one forward handle it. Penny took a bomb behind, he defused it, played it on the quarter line, and it was all three quarters all the way through. Now that says something.
Is that fair comment, do you think, Brian? Is it the forwards of Warrington who are letting them down at the moment?
Well, I think it was the backs, as Steve-O said, that provided the spark for them in that period of time later in that half. And it was the role that came from their quick play the balls and their enthusiastic running. But I think also, to be fair to Warrington, it is their 8th game right at the start of a season. These games have been jam-packed in for them. And maybe, I mean, at the end of the day, if they don't get the 2 competition points, I mean, we can use that as some sort of reason, but I'm sure they'll be in there. Brian Johnson will be in there right now, reminding them that at the end of the season, they're not going to come back and say, well, it was because of this or because of that. They've just got to put all that aside in this next 40 minutes. They've got to generate some enthusiasm, whether it comes from the backs or whether it comes from the forwards. The coach doesn't care, and I'm sure the players won't either. They've just got to find it, and they've got to find it in a hurry.
Well, remarkably, Workington Town have come here and they have had 2 tries disallowed in this first half. And Gawley, the first one.
Yes, and how many times have we seen that the ball has been brought back for a forward pass when it's been a 50-50? I mean, Gawley went very close. At one point, I thought he'd got over there, Brian.
It was very close, but he is just short there, Steve-O, and I think he did actually lose control as the ball was falling to ground, much like, for those who watched the Australian game just a few weeks ago, Laurie Daly lost one like this. I disagree with you here, Steve-O. That guy lost the ball forward. He lost the ball forward first. He would have regained it. But if he had regained it, Mackie would have tackled him anyway. You can't have it both ways.
Forward pressure with a forearm. Either way, they didn't get it. But what a great game Phillips is having. Talk about being a train spotter. They can't spot him. Warrington can't spot him tonight. He's going through. He wants to make a mark. And that is the difference. And I'm sure that Johnson will be saying to the Warrington pack, hey, come on, fellas. You've got to work. Okay, I don't care how many games you've played. We're out here. We're on show. Not only on television. We're on show to so many youngsters that are at this ground. And he'll be telling them, look, let them go with a good memory. And that memory is good football and a win.
What an awful defensive line there for Warrington for that drop goal.
I thought it was also an unusual tactic, to say the least. At this point in the game, I suppose the game's fairly tight, but they had a much better opportunity to score points. That was a great ball, a well-worked try. And doesn't Penny look very strong carrying the ball back from kicks or in that instance, just linking up with his 5'8", Yeston Harris. A replacement. I think the replacements in this game are going to be a key, by the way.
You think so?
I think so, because of that enthusiasm factor. It's got to come from somewhere, and Coach Johnson might decide to inject it from the bench.
Well, it can't be closer at half-time, can it? Warrington are just ahead, 8 points to 7. And so this game is well and truly up for grabs in the second 40 minutes. Well, I have an exclusive at Wilderspool. It's a cracking little atmosphere, and it's a great game. Warrington 8, Workington 7.
You're watching Sky Sports.
Monday at 9, the brand new series, Police Rescue.
Grandfather shot dead at the house.
A desperate man.
Father's on his way there, he's got to go.
In search of his little girl.
Don't you worry, sweetheart, we'll get you out.
Natalie!
Caught in a deadly game.
Open that door right now!
Natalie, don't open the door!
Of cat and mouse.
I can hear him! He's just here!
Losing could be fatal.
This isn't the way to do it, mate. It's the only way.
Police Rescue. All new action, all new...
Warrington are unbeaten at home against Workington since 1981. They won 17 points to 6 here then, did Workington. Since then, Warrington have managed 4 straight wins. But my word, they are up against it today, 8 points to 7. And Colin Armstrong leads the Workington players out for the second half. And a highly entertaining first 40 minutes it was. And perhaps after a little 10-minute breather, Workington will have second wind and push on for what will be a vital victory for them, and a historic victory too, in front of this packed crowd here at Wilderspool tonight.
Well, I'm sure the Workington coach, Kurt Sorensen, would have said more of the same, please. Okay, we're only 1 point adrift. But really the territorial advantage that they displayed in that first 40 minutes must lift their spirits. Warrington, of course, Mark Forster made quite a few errors, unforced on a couple of occasions. Gave away a silly penalty just before the end, which would have not pleased their coach, Brian Johnson. Very difficult for a coach to go in at half-time with a 1-point lead and really give your side a round to the kitchens, but I'm sure that he has done that.
Lee Penny, who of course got over the whitewash for the try in the first half. And he knows where the try line is. 64-12 here last season. Well, I wonder if your money would be on a 64-12 scoreline now, because it's the half-time at 8 points to 7 in Warrington's favour, and we have 40 minutes of exciting football to come in the Stonefitter Centenary Championship season here at Wilderspool tonight. And I'm sure that the Warrington forwards will be spurred on to greater things by their coach, Brian Johnson, during that half-time interval. Dave King getting in there with that second tackle of the second half. McGurk with the drive upfield for Workington, 10 metres inside his own half, and here's Roland Phillips. Looked for a big game tonight on his first return to Warrington. Remember, he joined Warrington from Neath in 1990. He was let go, and he's desperate to prove himself again here tonight. Good kick, meanwhile, from Marwood.
Good hard work from the forwards, set them up into a position just over the halfway line. Kick deep into the corner, no one at home. And the way that Workington's defence has been forcing the errors from Warrington, they'll be cock-a-hoop about that. It's a good start for them, an important first 10 minutes for either side. The side who least mistake-ridden in those vital 10 minutes of this second half will probably go on and win the football game.
Mackey in the dummy half, and he gets it to Wainwright. It's a loose pass from Wainwright. Penny has to pick it up, and the referee, I think, saw a little knock on there. It wasn't from Penny.
Well, we talked about the mistakes. It wasn't the best from Wainwright.
There was no knock on there.
No. I think he thought that Yeston Harris got a fingertips to it. Either way, that's a mistake that Workington were looking for.
And they're in possession 10 metres away from that Warrington line. It was Wayne Kitchen there disappearing under the tackle. That was Marwood, and this is Phillips. Attracting 4 players to him, Big Roland, every time he gets to the ball. And here now is Carter. It's a good run from Carter. Oh, he lost the ball over the line then. He was so close, Darren Carter, and he now knows how close he was.
Well, he definitely lost the football, but what on earth were Warrington's defence doing there? He just ambled up to the loose forward Carter, took the football and realised he was nearly over the line. If it wasn't for the attention of Paul Sculthorpe, that would have been a vital try early in the second half.
Off the dummy half, and he finds Hilton with the first pass. Good scrambling defence from Workington. They're working very hard. Kurt Sorensen has got them running high on pride here tonight. Maguire disappears under the challenge from Carter.
He lost that.
He did. Referee didn't see it.
Where's the touch judges?
Mackey's in at dummy half. This is Davis. High hanging kick again from Davis. Davis. Carter got a hand to it. The ball went backwards. Davis ran and put all the players onside. Here's Roland Phillips.
Well, he lost it completely there, did the Australian second rower. Should have been the advantage to the Workington side. Either way, they've come up with the football.
Another run coming in here from Gary McGuirk. And let's pick up half-time news from the dressing rooms with Bill.
News of Paul Cullen first. He's got a swelling on his arm. It doesn't look as though he's going to be coming back on in this second half, which is a blow for Warrington, missing a fierce competitor. You'd have thought there might be some flack flying in that Warrington dressing room at half-time, but according to assistant coach Clive Griffiths, it was quite calm in there, and coach Brian Johnson was asking his players to be patient and maybe move the ball out a little bit wider, but keep plugging away and cut out the errors. Kevin Ellis alongside me. What do you think Workington will be looking to do?
Well, I just think, you know, their game plan is going as well as the first half. They'll just be looking to, you know, keep the pressure on Warrington, a good set of 6, and finish off with a nice kick.
It's Warrington in possession with Yestin Harris. A dancing run from Harris. Penny was there in support, but he was tracked all the way by Stephen Holgate. Here's Sculthorpe and now Mackey. Out wide to Harris again. Oh, and it was indecision. And the Workington Town player had to stand off then because he might have been caught offside. He was stood in front of the ball when he came back to him.
Well, Yestin Harris trying to keep the ball alive in a lot of heavy traffic. Another problem for the Warrington side. Trying to get the ball away in impossible situations.
Here's Holgate again. 14 handling errors, and Warrington have made 8 of them. Armstrong. Colin Armstrong, 32 years old. Marwood gets the ball away to Phillips. Hoff and Maguire put him down. Last tackle here for Workington. Expect the kick from Pape. Oh, and it was poor kick. Out on the full. Will be brought back to where the kick was taken, and it's the turnover.
Well, it was a nice switch to the blind. The idea was there, but the sender Pape came off the side of his boot.
David Pape trying 2 of the last 3 for Workington, as Mackey tries to take it up in all the heavy traffic.
Well, I would have thought that Greg Mackey would be looking for a big game tonight with the news that Warrington, of course, they've signed Mike Ford, evidently on a 3-year contract. So he'll be looking to try to settle on a long-term contract himself, but he really has been playing behind a beaten pack.
Penalty Mackey has got because Marwood was all over him.
Well, it's the same tactics they utilised in the first 40, slowing the game down.
Good deep penalty kick. Warrington back in the danger zone. Injured player is Stephen Holgate, just receiving treatment. The referee wants to have a quick look at Holgate before allowing play to continue. There might be a blood bin here. Yes, take him off, he says, and patch him up. Out will come the green card. So Holgate goes to the blood bin.
That was good work, though, by Holgate and the trainer. You notice where they stopped for treatment? Right where the penalty should have been taken. They're working all the moves tonight at Workington.
Gary Schubert comes on for Holgate in the blood bin. Hilton, meanwhile, will drive the ball in again for Warrington. 10 metres short of the line. Hobb turns it down the short side. Wainwright. Scrambling defence again from Workington. Note the way they're just slowing this play the ball down. All the time. They're making Warrington just check and think. Long ball into the arms of Harris. This is Kettlewell. Almost through one. Good challenge in the end from Kitchen. Now it's with Harris. Taken over by King. Over the top to Forster. Policed by Frace and Johnson. Frace gets to him. It's terrific defence from Workington. 5 tackles gone. Mackey will try and spread it out wide. Harris. Oh, he went for the long ball out wide, and Pape, well, he nearly picked up the interception again.
He took the gamble, did Kevin Pape. Easton Harris sending out a real screamer. Davis would have been in for a try. There was no one at home. The centre took the gamble, just couldn't handle it. Seen knock-ons be not given with the ball going backwards like that. The impact was forward.
The referee puts the scrum down. Warrington's head and feed. Pape thinks he's safe. The drive, and Harris, on the very first tackle, scoots in and touches down behind the post and brings perhaps a bit of relief to this Wilderspool crowd. Welsh international Easton Harris showed lots of class there, and he just whipped around the back of the scrum.
All skill. See how he used the dummy runner, then the second dummy runner. He really did fool Wayne Kitchen there. The Workington standoff went for the missing man, and the skills of the Welshman, Easton Harris. That second dummy there totally confused Wayne Kitchen. That is superb skills from the youngster. Really has been a turning point to bring him on midway through that first half, hasn't it?
Try against Workington here last season, and now a try here tonight. So Jonathan Davis, 2 from 3. This time he's bang in front, and he makes no mistake whatsoever. So suddenly it's turned a little easier in Warrington's favour. 14 points to 7.
This is the route of the dummy runner, and this is what confuses the standoff Wayne Kitchen. And he just slides his body around. Beautiful balance. He really is a talent.
Here's Easton Harris's try. Looks better now from the Warrington point of view, 14 to 7. And is that now the little kick up the backside that this Warrington side needed? Can they go on now and really wrap this match up? Sculthorpe. Suddenly they're starting to look as though they might be running strongly onto the football. King.
Well, that's probably the first time this game that I've seen the second row, Bruce Maguire, really run with enthusiasm.
Warrington certainly in control of the opening 10 minutes of this second half. Mackey almost through a gap. It was a great tackle from Gawley. John Hobb. Sculthorpe was with him, and he's still going, is Hobb. That's a great run. That's what we saw at Sheffield last week. It's now with Harris. Harris will dab it through. Livett waits, and Livett picks it up.
Good work from the fullback. It was a nice little chip through. Positioned himself well, though, did Livett. All played. Not only happy to secure the football, made valuable yards as well. But that's much better defence. Lock Keane around the second marker.
Good work from Davis with that tackle on Marwood. You can hear all the young voices starting now to get behind their team. They know they're in a scrap, though, with this Workington side, who have run high on pride, and certainly with a degree of tactics, I think, that have been brought onto the field with them from the coaching of Kurt Sorensen. Penny, tackled by Gawley. Mackey into the arms of Kettlewell. Schubert and Kettlewell collide. Welcome to the big league, Ronnie.
That hurt Kettlewell. He's down on his haunches.
Harris.
Big hit.
Space for Harris. Throws down by Johnson. Skillful for dummy half. Here's Hilton. Trying to swat the tacklers away. Oh, and it was a good job that Carter got to him.
Now it's Warrington that's getting over that advantage line with ease. The Workington defence a little bit tired now.
Davis to pass out wide again, and Pape again going for the intercept. Just punched it forward.
Living dangerously yet again. There you see him out of the defensive line. It was 2-on-1. Miss it. And they're in for a try. It is a big gamble. But at 14-7, they've got to try something.
And to be fair, Steve, if he'd have managed to pick that ball up, he might have been in for the try. It was worth the gamble. Chambers is on for King. Kettlewell there, looking none the worse for the experience of the big collision with Gary Schubert. He plays the ball and Penny's on the run. Hoff is in at dummy half. Mackie now. Ball out to Kettlewell. Wrestled to the floor by Frace.
Just about to say that the youngster John Hoff, the hooker, he hasn't run much from dummy half. I think about twice in the entire game. I think we might see a little bit more from dummy half from him.
Kettlewell couldn't pick that ball up. Spilled it. And Johnson's looking for a penalty.
Swiveled his body at the impact, trying to get away from the tackle. Lost control of the football. It was good work by Mark Johnson. He's had a hard game, the winger.
Schubert takes the tackle, plays the ball then. This is Gawley, the hooker. Here's Roland Phillips again. Well, he won't stop. Unless he's put to the floor, which he is now by Chambers. Right on the halfway line. Phillips plays the ball to Gawley. It's back with Marwood. Marwood just turns them round. That will find... I was going to say that will find touch, but it came back into the field of play, and Johnson comes up and shoves Lee Penny into our advertising board.
He's in a lot of pain as well. I think he got his foot caught underneath it. He didn't expect Johnson to be coming at him at full pace, and I think the left ankle has gone right underneath the board. Well, it looks all right. But good work by Mark Johnson. South African very eager, keen to get up there. Surprised the fullback Lee Penny. He's also had a fine game.
Here goes Kitchen again. Maguire just getting to his feet with the use of an elbow on Kitchen, who was grounded. Armstrong. Chambers came flying out of the line then to tackle Armstrong and missed him. Maguire's all over him. Maguire has conceded the penalty, and if looks could kill.
Well, he got sucked into it there. With a few words being said. Yeah. Colin Armstrong, the Workington skipper, quite happy to get away with it, but I am still at loss as to why Colin Morris, midway through the first half, indicated to both skippers any more interference at the play of the ball, you will have addressed in the sin bin. Well, we've seen about 6. Maybe he's in a good mood, Colin Morris. Certainly not putting me in a good mood.
Dean Marwood then, 14-7. This will narrow the gap. Bang in front, 20 metres out. Well, what a miss that is. And that, Dean Marwood, could be very costly indeed. And I think he knows it. He should have put that over, Steve-O. He's a goal kicker of some repute.
A bad miss. It was vital. He realises that Workington have to score on 3 occasions now. That 1-point buffer, 7 points. Even if Workington collect a converted try, they'll still have their tails up with that 1-point lead. Psychologically, it's to Warrington at the moment.
He's got another penalty. This time, it's Wainwright.
Well, that's about the 3rd occasion that Wainwright's done that. I mean, it was Milt, there's no doubt about it. Penrice did everything right. That's not in the book. What is in the book, and I hate to keep repeating myself, but when is Colin Morris going to find the yellow card? Roland Phillips bounces away from Sculthorpe, bounces away from Hopp. He really is taking them on up front, is Roland Phillips, as is Gary Schubert now. The hooker is Gawley. Marwood spreads the ball to Kitchen. Kitchen, a short ball to Armstrong, and they must score here, and they have. And it's Kevin Pape, the man who can score tries from anywhere, and they just hung off Warrington. They hung off the man in possession, and the ball was fed through, and Pape was over.
You won't see a better pass from this from the standoff Wayne Kitchen. He throws the dummy, and look how they stand there. Maguire said, I'm going looking for him. The skipper, Colin Armstrong, takes it out, and the centre, Kevin Pape, who's been threatening to intercept on 2 or 3 occasions. But this is sheer skill. Throw the dummy, holds them up. As soon as Maguire comes for him, the gap is there. Basic football, but it's pretty to watch. Excellent stuff.
Kevin Pape, third try. That's 3 in his last 4 matches. And Marwood now with this conversion attempt, and had he clipped the penalty over, well, this would be for the lead. But he kicks it from out there, he misses from bang in front, and Marwood is shaking his head. He knows the miss in front could be so costly.
There you see Maguire going into the standoff Kitchen. The skipper goes through Armstrong. He did well there. Good support there from Kevin Pape. And the Town are back in this game. That really was a well-worked try.
It was a beautifully delayed pass. Wayne Kitchen just waited for the Warrington defensive line to open up, and they obliged. Well, I think Roland Phillips, although he's took a bang there, is enjoying his return to Wilderspool. Even though he's still 1 point behind on the scoreboard, there's still a quarter of this match to go, and anything can happen here.
Sure can. A great game, Roland Phillips. And he's running out wide, just as the second row would do, gaining a lot of ground. To be fair, though, to Warrington in this second half, they've really sort of boxed him in. They've cut him down. He was sucking the defenders to him and then twisting and getting the ball away. He hasn't done that yet this half.
Here's Kitchen, the man who engineered the try, the kick downfield. Now then, that bounced over the top of the corner flag. Watch the touch judge's decision. The touch judge's decision is in touch.
Tap on the quarter.
Grand touch in goal.
Oh, yes, easy.
The flag went up, though, as though the ball had come the right side of the corner flag. Warrington are in possession. They won't be arguing about that particular decision.
Look at the tackle in there. Oh, it is ferocious.
Schubert and Armstrong there on Mark Hilton. Harris to Sculthorpe. Gets the pass away brilliantly off the deck. Jason Lee is hauled down unfairly by Paul Penrice.
Attacked the head. He had one arm on the chest. And slipped right up into the face. But what a beautiful pass from Euston Harris. There it is. Went on the shoulder, but eventually right into the face. Jonathan Davis helping referee Colin Morris.
Davis in back play was being held back there too without the football. That's, I think, what he was indicating. Anyway, Warrington are now on the charge and looking for another try with Hilton. Schubert all over him, and Schubert grabbing at the collar again. Colin Morris's patience is standing firm. Kettlewell hits the gap.
Desperation stuff from Kitchen there. Try-saving tackle.
Penny to Harris, who drops it.
Well, probably got the safest pair of hands in rugby league, the youngster. But you could see clearly that he'd taken his eyes off the football. He was more intent as to whereabouts he was going to run. Simple, basic error.
Workington desperate to get Stephen Holgate back on the field. He is being stitched in the dressing room with 4 stitches in a facial wound.
Schubert's the man who came on to replace him, and Schubert the man who goes off now to allow him to return. So Holgate back on, and bravely too, with 4 stitches. Holgate, the England international, the sort of man perhaps with all the class and quality to turn this game Workington's way. Meanwhile, Marwood, under great pressure, puts a good kick in all along the deck.
Did well. He was shattered all the way there by Sculthorpe. He knows that a kick into touch. Hope for the mistake yet again. A good solid performance from the little halfback. He's been around a while. He really is a character in our game. Tough as they come.
And you mentioned, Steve-O, the other number 7, Greg Mackey, just passing the ball there to Mark Forster. He is a man under pressure at Wilderspool now, with Mike Ford having been signed, the scrum half, ex of Castleford, and more recently of the Queensland Crushers.
Well, I said earlier that he'd look for a big game, but I'm sure that Warrington are looking for more depth in many ways.
Sculthorpe trying to dart through the gap. Well, we've got a terrific contest here tonight, and we've got a great contest coming up for you on Sunday when we're live at Brentford Football Club in London for the Broncos against Leeds. The big league returns to the capital, 12 years on. This is a terrific occasion here tonight, courtesy of all the youngsters who've been allowed in for free, getting a look at the game first-hand, maybe for the first time, seeing Davis put the grubber kick in that just runs too strongly. And I'm sure, Steve-O, that come Sunday night, there'll be a few newcomers to the game in London also.
Be a great day. Roll along. There'll be plenty of excitement, that's for sure. But you could see the expression on Jonathan Davies' face. He virtually lost that football. It wasn't the best pass out wide. It was dipping. He knew he couldn't get it with his fingertips, so he put the kick on. It was far too heavy. They know they're in the battle. 1 point may not be enough.
There's Holgate with the stitches. And Steve-O, it's amazing to think that on Sunday, against the Saints, at home, Workington conceded 66 points. This is a different side. Kurt Sorensen's worked well this week.
Well, they're going through the basics very well. They're playing out their full complement of 6. The kicking game from Marwood and Kitchen has been excellent. The chasing game is good too.
High kick again from Marwood, again putting Foster under pressure. And although he was hit immediately by Kitchen, he held on to that ball.
Good work there from Forster, but you can see also good work from Greg Mackey. He made himself a shield. Didn't occur in the first half. There's the coach, Kurt Sorensen. He'll be quite happy.
And alongside him, Phil McKenzie, who, of course, with Billy McGinty, took over the coaching reins early on for the match against Wigan that we brought to you on the opening evening of this centenary season from Derwent Park. And obviously, McKenzie and McGinty have a part to play in the future coaching of this team. But my word, they're going through the basics well. Although they now have to defend this run from Mackey. Warrington streaming up in support. Penny went without the ball. Referee will pull it back for the knock-on. And Warrington blow another chance.
Or just panic. Heavy traffic. Greg Mackey could see that both Jonathan Davis and Lee Penny, they were being trailed by Workington players, and that can be the difference between winning and losing. You make the half break, but make sure of possession. How many times Warrington has filled up the football early in the tackle count?
The attendance here tonight, a highly creditable 7,038. Quite a few of those, of course, have been allowed in here totally free of charge, and Warrington having taken the big gamble hope that next time they have a game here at Wilderspool, many of these youngsters will come back, and what's more, they'll bring mum and dad with them too. And it's a gamble, Steve-O, that we all hope will pay off.
Well, it should do. It's been a gritty performance from both sides. It's been heavy out there. Workington playing to their game plan of just slowing things down. Warrington wanted a free-flowing game. They haven't got one. And unfortunately for the referee, Colin Morris, he's allowed both sides to just hang on and slow things down at the play of the ball. If they'd have perhaps put someone in the sin bin, we'd have got a more open game earlier. But I still think it will come. I think Warrington, in the last 10 minutes, will explode. I just get a sneaky feeling this Workington pack are starting to get a little bit tired.
Throughout this second half, the Warrington defence has been under immense pressure because Workington have played out their sets of 6 tackles repeatedly throughout this second half. Tremendous display from them. Davis was on the deck then when he picked up that play of the ball. He just tapped it to the man on his inside. It was Mark Forster. Davis claiming he was tripped. Here's Chambers now. Hoff disappears. Phillips and Marwood. Those two have worked really hard.
Once again, you saw that Marwood trying to slow things down. They're not messing around and getting up and allowing Warrington to play. Well, look at that. Hold him down, and the referee's letting him get away with it.
Spoiling tactics, but it's paying off for Workington. We have the sniff of a really big upset here if Workington come and pinch the points from Warrington. 14-13. Warrington on the last tackle, midway inside the Workington half. Harris aims it for the corner. Underneath it is Johnson. He turns away from Lee, and off goes Mark Johnson. Ankle tap.
Good work.
Good job too.
Good work from Forster. He really was given a dummy there. He just twisted and turned with Mark Johnson. That should be a knock-on from Warrington.
It is.
Well, I'm not so sure that this was a good option from Colin Armstrong. He realises that time is ticking away. There's still that 1 point away. Good work here from Johnson. But also good work. He came back, didn't he? With Davis that got him. I thought it was Forster, but it was Davis, the Welsh wizard. It's a vital tack.
Here's Phillips. Tucks the ball under the arm. Drives it in again. Tackled there by Chambers. Now Armstrong. Oh, and Frace is through the gap. David Frace is taking on Penny. He drags Johnson into it. Gets the pass back from Johnson, does the Frenchman, and then is enveloped by Mark Forster. Marwood, long ball. Holgate. Through the dummy to no one in particular then. Warrington weren't fooled. And he's wrestled to the floor. Here goes the hooker, Gawley. They're camped in front of the post. What price a drop goal here to level the scores? They're set for it, and they've got it with Wayne Kitchen, and it's 14-all.
Let's get a share of the spoils. Good thinking there by Wayne Kitchen. Warrington didn't expect that. They thought they'd go for the try, but Kitchen was quite happy to level the scores. It's going to go down the wire, perhaps.
We're at the home of the wire, and that's where we're heading. David Frace so close to a try when he shot through the gap. Workington applied the pressure and came up with the 1 point courtesy of Wayne Kitchen. He will remember his 100th appearance for Workington Town. There's no doubt about that. And we all will on Sky Sports. It's 14-all, 10 minutes to go. Terrific contest. Phillips. He's a real handful, is Roland Phillips. Johnson. And here's Armstrong. Let's go pitch side and Bill.
Just for a minute, it looked as though Warrington were going to bring Greg Mackey off. They had young Graham Close stripped off and ready to come on. But Mackey has said that he wants to carry on. So Greg Mackey's sticking on to see this one through. But a change for Workington, because off comes Roland Phillips after a storming performance, and on comes Peter Riley for them.
Well, Roland Phillips has certainly been the star of this Workington outfit tonight. And Peter Riley, number 17, there in to try and shore up things towards the end. And Davis makes an unholy mess of that. No wonder Mike Wainwright looks at him and says, what was that?
Under pressure. Peter Riley had come on and straight away applies pressure to Jonathan Davis. He's not happy with it. What an opportunity. I thought Workington looked to be out on their feet, but they really have bounced back. That 1 point from Wayne Kitchen that's leveled the scores, it really has lifted their spirits.
And they're driving it in again towards the goalpost with Wayne Kitchen once more. Marwood behind the play, directing traffic. There's another 1 pointer begging here, but Gawley goes for 4, and he's just held up That's how close Workington are.
It's got to be Marwood.
Back to Marwood. They're spreading it wide. Carter. Desperate defence now from Warrington. 8 minutes to go. 14 points all. They go out wide. They're coming back inside with Gawley. Tackled by Mackey. Will Kitchen set for another one-pointer. Into the arms of Frace. Frace with a one-point attempt, and he's kicked it, and Workington have the lead. David Frace with the drop goal when they were all standing round waiting for Kitchen.
And Workington got it all wrong. Kitchen was waiting for the football. It was an awful pass. And the Frenchman, I don't know whether he's used to kicking drop goals, but he looked calm, cool and collected. I think the Workington player said, gee, didn't know you could do that. Either way, the town have taken the lead. What an effort.
7 minutes and a few seconds to go, and Workington hit the front, and they have the ball back, of course, from the kickoff. And Darren Carter will try and tuck it underneath the arm again and run it back out. That's what Workington have done all evening.
They've respected possession, and that's what they'll do now. One out stuff, just keep driving forward. It's been a tremendous effort from them.
And here they come again with Kitchen. They get it to the halfway line. Gawley's the dummy half. Now Marwood. Another drop goal from Marwood. He's kicked that one too. Well, Marwood missed a penalty from bang in front. Now he's kicked the 1 point that might just pinch this match.
That's all of 35 metres. Tremendous one-pointer. Jubilation, Dean Marwood.
16-14. Workington edging towards a famous win at Wilderspool. 2 points the gap now. 1 pointers suddenly are no use to Warrington. And Davis's kick, it finds touch. It nearly sailed out on the full.
Good thinking though from Davis. There's no point in getting the ball full right deep into the corner. He knows that Workington have applied the tactic of just one out football deep within their own quarter. He tried a short little chip over, it nearly came off. They've got to gamble now, the wire.
It was March 1981 when Workington last won here in the First Division by 17 points to 6. Since then, Warrington have inflicted 4 straight defeats on this Workington town team. But tonight, Workington are on the verge of a victory. 5 minutes to go. They lead by 2 points. And Gary McGuirk, who came on as a substitute, has worked hard, as all of these black-shirted Workington players have.
It's a brave move by the Workington coach, Kurt Sorensen, to take off one of your best men, Roland Phillips, but it certainly worked.
Holgate with a drop goal attempt then. They're all at it now. And Kurt Sorensen allows himself a little wry smile at that.
And I know what it's for. He'll say, remind me to tell Holgate not to go for the drop goal.
Well, they've probably just seen number 4 there running out of your picture, David Frace, land his first drop goal in British football, and they thought, well, if the Frenchman can do it, why can't we all? It's been a terrific tackling display from Colin Armstrong, number 11, and the rest of this Workington team. Warrington are running up blind alleys, but can they now find the way through?
Not with tackling like that, they can. They've got to gamble now. We haven't seen much of the silky skills from Jonathan Davis. We need it now.
Kettlewell out wide to Forster. Forster tipped the ball back inside to Kettlewell. As soon as he picked the ball up, Armstrong was on him. Mackey to Harris. Harris dabs it through, and that, the ball went backwards, said Colin Morris, but the substitute McGurk picked it up in an offside position.
Well, he's looking to get away with that, but you can see that the ball rolling back. He had come back over the advantage line. There it goes there. You'll see that he comes back first. He takes a big stride. That was enough to convince Colin Morris that it was okay. But the penalty given. Mike Wainwright stood in an offside position, according to the referee.
Or was it because the Workington player had the ball ripped out of his grasp?
Either way, Workington will be happy about it. Yeah, I think you're right.
There it is.
Well spotted. This will be up the jumper stuff now. Workington will drive right towards...
Oh, McGurk! Now, was that the moment for Warrington? Davis trying to sidestep his way to the line, but with tackling like this, it's not a night for sidesteppers. Penny. Well, Gary McGurk, I've just said how well he'd done in that team tackling department, and the surrenders possession, and here comes Sculthorpe.
At a time when he was up the jumper stuff, there's a possession there, Workington. Plenty of football.
Davis, great tackle by Pate. Mackey taking them on, but three big men bring him down. Here's Harris. Warrington must score with Kettlewell if they can, but he drops the ball. It went backwards, they claim, but referee Colin Morris disagrees, and that could be it.
Not the best pass, but it was high, and in vital times like that, you've got to make sure of possession. A disappointed youngster, Ronnie Kettlewell. Long ball out wide, it was a gamble that they'd taken. Trace down injured.
And that fumble was on the last Warrington tackle, so it's the turnover. Johnson plays the ball quickly to Marwood, but this really is now the time when Workington will surely just slow it down even further.
Good work there from the hooker, Jonathan Gawley, running from dummy half. He knew that the pressure was on. Nerves are jingling out there.
Marwood gets the pass away to Kitchen. Desperate defence now from Warrington. Workington are on halfway. Marwood again, and here now is Carter. Carter to Armstrong. He gives it to Frace, and Frace is away again. David Frace. He missed by Penny. Oh, Frace passes the ball back straight into the arms of Penny.
Well, it was an awful attempt by Lee Penny, the full-back, and he must have shouted for the football.
They went for the intercept again. That play on. Davis has it, and Davis is thrown and bundled into touch.
It's got to be a penalty. Or is it?
No, he's put the scrum down.
Well, he's tackled as far as I'm concerned. The second man took him out. I know he was rolling over in... Referee Colin Morris obviously thought the momentum got him there. Yeah, it was the second man that came in. I thought the tackle had been completed. And when the man went for the legs, he came in a split second too late in my book.
Well, the man who matters is Colin Morris, and he's put the scrum down. And Workington now, as we approach the end of the 80 minutes, will surely just put the ball up the jumper and play out this 6.
Well, they'll go for the 1 point.
They might go for 4 with Armstrong. Armstrong just half a metre short. Gawley's the dummy half. He's going for the glory. So close again. Darren Carter's the dummy half.
Not the best play of the ball from Jonathan Gawley.
It was risky. Last tackle, Livett. What a night for Peter Livett. Chips the ball over the top. Former Woolston amateur. And Jason Lee's got it. Jason Lee is just ankle tapped by Pate, and they get him at the second attempt. There's the siren, it's all over. Workington have won. First time since 1981. A little shake of the hand for Kurt Sorensen from Phil McKenzie, and hugs all over the field for this Workington team who have come here and have won against all the odds. What a night for Roland Phillips. His first return to Wilderspool, and his first return comes up with the win. Marwood missed with a penalty in front. It looked like the chance had gone. Then he slotted over a conversion. He added a lengthy drop goal, and Workington came up with the points. A great night for rugby league. So many newcomers inside the ground, and Workington have stolen the points. 16-14. A great game.
You're watching Sky Sports.
Sky Sports presents the Scottish Masters live from Motherwell. In this curtain raiser to the new season, will snooker's young guns continue to shoot straight, or will experience win the day? Whatever the result, with a lineup consisting of 12 of the top-seeded players in the world, there's no finer display of snooker talent than this. World-class snooker with the Scottish Masters live from the Civic Centre in Motherwell. Starts Tuesday at 2 on Sky Sports.
The Volkswagen Golf L. It comes with power steering, immobilizer, just in case someone should try and make off with it, driver's airbag, because you never know what's round the next corner, and 2 years free service and maintenance. Not that a Golf takes much looking after, of course.
With Windows 95, new games, kids software and CD-ROM titles run fast and easy to use, which should make your multimedia experience an even better experience. Start discovering. Start Windows 95.
The most amazing machine on the planet can run on any terrain. It can withstand impacts that would dent steel plate, or repair its own bodywork without leaving a single mark. It can travel for miles on a few cups of water, or take to the air more gracefully than a rocket. Every model is different, a one-off built to order. And if you look after it properly, this machine will last a lifetime. You're amazing. We want you to stay that way.
It's dire news! Those dastardly villains can catch Batman and Robin every weeknight on the Family Channel.
Holy shocking!
There's only one place they'll catch Batman.
Holy smoke!
On the Family Channel.
Be there at Wembley on Saturday, October the 7th, for England versus Australia, the first match of 15 in the Halifax Rugby League Centenary World Cup. Order tickets now on the World Cup hotline on 0178 274 1995. Wembley seats from only £10 to £35. Also available from rugby league clubs. Massive discounts for schools and group bookings. Ring the hotline or see Saturday's Dead Express or Monday's Express or Mirror for details.
When you first set up home, you only have a few bits and pieces. But over time, your worldly possessions tend to grow, as can the cost of insuring them. Who should you call? With Direct Line, you just answer a few quick questions and we'll do all we can to make sure you get exactly the right amount of cover.
Thank you.
At exactly the right price. For an instant quote, call 0181 686 8877.
Seize the day.
Well, the game's the winner tonight, 14 points to 16. A terrific battle here at Wilderspool. Over 7,000 inside the ground to see it, and I'm sure that they will all come flocking back thanks to excitement like we've seen here. Let's talk to some of the Workington heroes, starting off with the Workington town captain, Colin Armstrong.
On the very first result for Workington Town, isn't it?
Well, we've got a bollocking this week off Kurt. Our defence was terrible last week. We knew we had to come back. Everybody's rubbish us this week, and all the media and that, so we just knew we had to work hard. We showed a lot of spirit and defended like heroes.